Welcome to a three-game winning streak for your 2025 Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins took care of the New Orleans Saints 21-17. Was not a pretty victory. Left them in the game all game. But you know what history that records? It records wins and losses, and this one turned out to be a win. Isaiah Smalls from the Miami Herald columnist here, Omar Kelly. Isaiah, when you start out the season, what was it? 1-6. Can you be picky about how you win a game?
I don't think that two things can be true. I don't think you can be picky about how you win the game, but how you win the game tells a lot more about you than maybe you might want to reveal, right? Back-to-back close games with the Commanders, and who looked really good actually last night against the Broncos, taking them to double overtime and it coming down to a 2-point conversion that South Florida's own Nick Bonito swatted away. But I say that to say the Commanders, Saints, two teams
South
that are
Florida's own.
yeah, Nick Bonito, yeah.
Where
The edge rusher?
Where you from?
He's from, I don't remember where, but I think he went to St. Thomas. Yeah, he went to St. Thomas. He's from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, I ain't know that.
Yeah. It's your statesman, your countryman. You gotta know your countryman, man.
Okay. All right.
But they both wins were ugly, and Mike McDaniel said something that is very true. Like, you have to learn how to win in different ways, right? This isn't college football. You're not being graded on your wins, right?
Stop points.
Yeah. You're not going to take a shot with a minute left just because you're trying to look good for the community.
You ain't trying to run up the score like University of Miami trying to get into the BCS playoffs.
This
took care of your business earlier. Then you wouldn't have to worry about all that. But
look, from your lips to God's ears. Hopefully, the college football playoff gods are working their magic to try to get
your business against LSU, against Louisiana and SMU, but you didn't. And for me,
wait, Louisiana, Miami lost to Louisiana.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Sorry, one of them L teams. But listen, I don't judge victories by style points. If the offense was taking care of business in the red zone, the game would have been over by the halftime.
I agree.
But this is something that's been a reoccurring issue for this team. The offense is sputtering in the red zone. Now, I generally, or not taking care of business, I mean, think about how many 4th and 1 opportunities they had to score touchdowns and couldn't punch it in. That's an issue they certainly have to fix. But the one thing that's finally showing up, it only took them 3/4 of the season, is the Dolphins defense. I think they played an impressive, wonderful game, even all the way to Minkah Fitzpatrick kind of sealing the game with the pick 2, because it's not a pick 6, because it doesn't count for 6 points.
Yeah, as I was telling Marcel, I'd never heard that phrase before, pick 2. I was trying to, because as I was writing it out, I was like, 2-point conversion attempt, blah, 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 interception. I'm like, okay, this sounds wild. Like, is it, how can I shorten this? But pick 2 is certainly
pick two is pretty accurate. Yeah.
I like that.
That was an impressive play, and I actually wrote a column about this. And what was more impressive about that play is the fact that they never got the defensive call in. And Terrell Dotson basically told everybody, just get a man. Everybody got a man. Jordan Brooks was like, I don't even know if everybody was playing the same scheme, playing the same call. Because we just what puzzles me is, why didn't you just call what was called previously? Just, because they did have a false start. Yeah. You had a play call. Obviously, the formation changed. Obviously, they were during the pass situation, but the headsets weren't working. And Weaver never got the call into Terrell Dotson, who's a green dot player. And Terrell Dotson just made a call. Mike McDaniel says he was going to call a timeout until his defensive coaches said, no, they're in the right formation. They got the call. But truthfully speaking, they never got the call.
A little cover 6-7, man.
Huh?
A little cover 6-7. That was the call on the day.
Listen. For Minkah Fitzpatrick to step in front of that pass and not only catch it, but run it all the way back. Because realistically, if he had caught that pass, we would have been looking at overtime, second overtime game. You never know what's going to happen. That New Orleans defense, New Orleans offense, they weren't good. They weren't.
No.
Then again, neither was the Miami Dolphins offense. And I wrote a column. I didn't care what happened in the game, but this is kind of my second straight game where I'm looking at Tua Tagovailoa, and I do not recognize him anymore as a quarterback. It is, and I know you just sitting there like, I told you. Nah. I have never seen Tua this immobile, this unable to move, this unathletic. And this is coming, I thought maybe his body was banged up. The bye week's going to serve him a little bit of good. That was the most easiest sacked quarterback in the NFL yesterday. I mean, you got past to his offensive lineman. He was sitting there like a pork chop, just ready to be gobbled up. And it blows my mind, like watching Tua over the years. I watched him his final year, junior year at Alabama. Yes, I know he had a hip injury. I watched him his rookie season where he was a scared, terrified little rookie. Watch him his second season coming to his own. Then had his little beef with Brian Flores, and that had to end. Watched him during the Mike McDaniel era. This is probably the worst I've ever seen Tua Tagovailoa as a quarterback. And I'm not even putting it on the excuse of you don't have Tyreek Hill, because I've seen Tua operate without Tyreek Hill. Now, having Tyreek Hill is a wonderful thing. It would be nice if he had maybe 3 receivers instead of just one and a running back. Mm-hmm. And now a tight end because Darren Waller's back. But
led the team in receiving yesterday, actually.
Who led the team in receiving?
Darren Waller.
Oh, okay. All right.
46 yards, 2 catches.
None of it was impressive. So
I did like the play call that schemed him wide open with him and Jalen Waddle running like the 5-yard out, and I thought it was covered too. And the corner kind of played that, and the safety didn't even remotely see Darren Waller, was able to sneak in behind him. And if he had if this was Darren Waller 6 years ago, that would have been to the crib because he had no speed. He could not get far after that one. A good 6-yard game. Keep going though. I'm sorry.
Listen, here's the thing about Tua. The numbers are extremely pedestrian this year. Okay, sacks are up. He's been sacked 25 times in Miami's 12 games. Mm-hmm. He's the 13th most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Now, in fairness, Justin Herbert's been sacked more, 38. Drake May has been sacked more, 37. Trevor Lawrence been sacked more, 32. Josh Allen's been sacked more, 28. So I'm not sitting here saying that, Tua is just a sitting duck, even though he looks like a sitting duck now. This hasn't been a all-season thing. And Tua has been tremendously good throughout his career at avoiding sacks and stepping out of sacks and pocket presence. But it is gone. Now we get to he's 28th in passer rating at 85.9. That is horrendous for Tua. We're talking about a quarterback who's gone 3 straight years with 100 passer rating. He is 28th in the NFL. Behind him is Bo Nix at 85.8, Geno Smith at 84.0, Tyler Show, who you just saw on Sunday.
Hey, you better get his name right, Tyler Shuck.
Shuck?
Yeah.
He
outplayed Tua. He had them in and I looked at it. I didn't want to. I was saving this for right now, right? You go look at his second half stats. I think he completed I think he threw maybe 5 incompletions, 2 touchdowns. Had them in a position to tie the game. Obviously, wasn't the best pass, right? And then even the touchdown pass that he threw, to set up the 2-point conversion, moved around the pocket, stepped up, and floated up. That was an okay pass. And
he is like a 29-year quarterback.
Yeah, I know. He's definitely a 26-year-old.
But he's got an 83.6 pass rating. Trevor Lawrence, 81.6. Cam Ward, 75.2. JJ McCarthy, 57.9. Damn, that's pretty bad.
I mean, JJ McCarthy's not good. I've said that from the moment that he got drafted.
I didn't know.
I said he's not. I didn't see anything special, and I did not see first rounder on him. But people looking for the next Brady. It is.
But in what year, era, time has Tua been the 28th quarterback passer rating in the NFL? Like, not never.
I think it's obvious, and I've said it early on. Like, he's obviously regressed. Like, you can't, if you watch his performance on a day in, day out basis, and you're not willing to come to terms with that, like, I understand why, but you're holding on to something that I don't think is existed anymore. I think this is the closer version to who Tua is now, because again, like, what do you think he's gonna do? What's the best case scenario here? Like, he has another like hip replacement, and he tries to, like, I don't even know. We don't even know what the issue is, right? We don't know if it has something to do with it. We don't know what it is, but like, I don't think you don't just magically regain athleticism unless your name is James Harden, because I think he did that. But I don't think
you can magically regain athleticism.
You can magically regain athleticism. I don't know.
It's called HGH, sir. Yeah, yes, you can.
Okay, listen. You can't legally. You can't.
Hey, I could go to Germany and do what I need to do and come back. You can't prove nothing.
Wow.
Anyway,
but realistically, look where we are. Look what you're resorting. Look what you're recommending. You're recommending that he does an illegal treatment. Going out
the illegal. I could go get HGH right now. It's not illegal. It's legal.
It's a violation of the bylaws of the NFL.
Oh, it's smoking weed. They did it anyway.
Okay, but
players have been taking HGH for more than a decade.
Smoking weed, steroids. Like, come on.
It's not steroids. It's human growth hormone. Listen. Don't make me go get a batch of human growth hormones on you.
I mean, you're in the gym now. Are you? Is this?
I probably need it because I'm back in the gym now. I ain't lying to you. My body hurt. I'd like to feel young again. Listen.
Okay.
But Tua is leading the NFL. He's tied with Geno Smith with 14 interceptions. That duck he threw yesterday, to a wide open Jalen Waddle. That ball just hung up there.
Open. I don't think he was wide open.
Oh, he was wide open.
He was not wide open.
The safety was just sitting right up there waiting for it. Now, maybe Jalen could have made a better play on the ball. I don't know.
He put in a double coverage. What are we talking about? He was not wide open. He had the safety. You're right in the sense that, like, if the placement on that ball would have had to
the ball needed to have more zip.
It would have had to been like in the back corner of the end zone, and like that's like a difficult pass for anybody to make. Like, I don't even want to, like, I just think it was just a terrible throw and a terrible decision, to be honest. Like, I don't. Because again, the corner,
the most predictable thing for the Miami Dolphins, after a turnover at the 40, they're going for the end zone. I've been here 4 years. I know exactly what Mike McDaniel's calling, and so does every other opponent. So, like, why would you do it? But that's Mike. He's an aggressive play caller. My point is, and everybody knows, I'm a Tua Tagovailoa defender. I do not recognize this quarterback anymore. And I don't know what's wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the hip. Okay, he runs out the pocket in the fourth quarter and slides before he gets the first down, putting them in a 4th and 1 situation, which I believe they did not convert. I've never been a big proponent of, I need an athletic quarterback. However, he's reminding me of Dan Marino after the Achilles injury, where literally Dan could not move. And Tua can no longer move. And I have no idea what the issue is.
It's funny, like, a big thing on Dolphins Twitter is this, big push for an athletic quarterback. However, oftentimes I see more quarterback running clips than actually throwing the ball, as if his legs totally supersede what he's gonna have to do with his arm, right? And so I look, I'm of the guy that gets the job done. That's why, I like Jalen Hurts, right? He's a guy that just wins, right? But I think after what I've seen this season from Tua, I don't think it's a bad idea to. I just don't want the next administration to prioritize athleticism over actual arm talent. I don't want Anthony Richardson 2.0, right? Like, I just don't want that. Like,
I hear you. I
don't want that. Like,
you could probably go get Anthony Richardson if you think you can fix him.
I mean, yeah, I think a change of scenery. One, like, two things can be true, right? As I started the podcast saying, I think the NFL can have a quarterback development problem, which I think it clearly does.
Oh, that's clear. That's clear.
You're drafting these 20-year-olds and giving them the keys to an NFL franchise. Like, that's just not realistic. The guys need to sit. But then two, I mean, Anthony Richardson has one of the most impressive throws I've ever seen at the start of last year when he threw the 70-yard bomb. Absolutely. Like, that is one of the most impressive throws. So he has arm talent. I think it's accuracy and decision making, which decision making I know is a little bit difficult. You're gonna need a real patient coach to try to coach out the decision making, right? The poor decision making. Accuracy, though, I don't know. You can't really. I mean, you can't. But to me, I think accuracy kind of also comes down to mechanics a little bit. Like, I remember when with Josh Allen, the jump he took from his rookie year to like his sophomore year, and that was fixing his mechanics, right? And that helped him, improved him as an accurate thrower. I'm not too familiar with Anthony Richardson mechanics. I'd have to look it up, do some more research. So I don't know what the exact issue there. I just know he's not an accurate thrower of the football. And so look, like that's fine. I'm because like Tua's going to be here, regardless of how they finish the season. And if the next administration believes it's time to pick a quarterback, the quarterback is going to have to sit. Like, I just don't see a scenario where unless it gets that bad next year where it's like, okay, maybe we need to play a different quarterback. But then again, I would argue that at points of this year, it was that bad. I mean, the guy's leading the league in interceptions, and Quinn Ewers wasn't looked twice at, right? They had an opportunity to give him, not potentially give him the keys, but to, increase his reps, i.e. making him the number 2 string quarterback and the second string quarterback, and they decided not to do that, right? Yeah. So just from following the breadcrumbs that this organization has given us, look, like, I think Tua has to be better. He admitted it himself. Like, the run game and the defense really, really bailed him out. I'm still kind of dying at Tom D'Angelo from Palm Beach Post question. Like, yeah, you guys are winning, right? But you're not playing well. How do you feel about that?
I mean, a 56.2 passer rating is 55.9. That's one of your worst games in the NFL in your career.
Yes, definitely.
You sucked yesterday.
Yeah.
You are not a contributor to this team's wins.
And so I want to, and I saw someone tweet about this, and I just kind of want to pose you the question. If you're Devon Achane's agent right now, you see what's happening with Tua, you see the season that your client is having. What's your message to the Dolphins? Like, it has to be pay this man now before the price goes up at the end of the year. But the Dolphins historically haven't done that. They haven't gotten in front of some of these.
Devon Achane can't sign a contract right now. They have to complete their 3rd season before you can offer them a contract extension. Okay. Yes, clearly Devon Achane is going to try to get James Cook money. Clearly he's going to try to get a multi-year extension. But the reality is it wise to pay a back? And is it wise to pay a small back?
Here we go. I mean,
that's the reality of the situation. He's the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL right now, 1,034 yards. He's never had a bad season. However, he's a byproduct of the offensive line. The offensive line, earlier in this season, we weren't talking about how great Devon Achane was. What we were talking about was how bad the offensive line was. Offensive line starts improving. The jumbo package.
The jumbo package is huge.
Jumbo package is like revolutionized this team, actually made them respectable. Mm-hmm. Look at when they finally started to begin to actually play well. Mm-hmm. Jumbo package. Yeah. Daniel Brunskill should be in the running for MVP of the season. Like
what? Okay.
Hold on now. Let me make my argument. Let me make my argument.
Up your brakes.
Let me make my argument.
Go ahead.
Tell me the single change that has happened that has contributed to this 4-5 winning record.
You like pinpoint one single change? I think it's also
tell me what's the origin of this 4-5 winning record?
For the last 5 games. I think it's also, 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 I I mean, Brunskill obviously is like the easy answer, right? But I don't want to go there.
Oh no, wait. They can run the ball.
They can
They're
run
now
the ball,
protecting Tua.
yeah.
When did they start being
I
able to
think
run the ball?
also like let's not act like. I mean, their defense is starting to force turnovers as well.
Okay, defenses. Nah, they ain't forcing turnovers. They still not forcing turnovers. Let's not be.
They forced 2 yesterday against the Commanders.
They got the fumble on Bonner recovered a fumble,
and
then
then
they had Jack Jones's strip.
no, the pick. That was the pick.
The pick. He didn't have a strip too.
The
Okay,
strip was a week before against the Bills, and they forced 2 turnovers again.
all
Pick.
right. I could accept.
So
the defense is stepping up too.
Defense
I'm
stepping
not
up. They're creating more extra possessions for the offense. I think, and
They're
again,
not doing nothing with those extra possessions. I mean, I'm being real with you. The difference with this team is they're actually successfully and efficiently running the ball. Well, not Devon Achane been here. How have they been successfully and efficiently running the ball? Well, that Daniel Brunskill. That when all your tight ends went down, homeboy started playing as a 6th offensive lineman, and all of a sudden you started mowing people down.
For the record, I'm just like looking at Devon Achane. He had a damn near 100, 99 yards against the Jets, right? No jumbo package then. Ran for 128 yards against the Chargers, 8 yards per carry. Browns had 82 yards. Like because even that's why I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you, because even against the Falcons jumbo package, sure, but he only ran for 67 yards. The week after that, Ravens 67 yards. Now of course he's put together these 300 plus yard games, Bills, Commanders, Saints, but I wouldn't say that was the biggest. I don't think so.
Okay.
And take it a step further, you know, when we both know this, when your defense starts taking the ball away, right? That gives more juice to the team, right? They do the little celebration at the end, whatever. Like as an offense, you feel more galvanized to go punch the ball in. To your point, they're not really doing that at a high rate, but at the same time, I think just the energy that the defense is giving. Someone said it to Minka last night, like you guys are kind of bailing out the offense. He doesn't now. Of course, Minka didn't necessarily feed into that. He didn't bite it. He didn't bite into that. But at the end of the day, because he gave a great answer about it's vice versa. It's complimentary football at its finest, right? But at the same time, I mean, it's hard to. He quite literally had a pick 2 that saved the kind of put the game a little bit out of reach in the sense that the Saints had to go for a touchdown, right? So I'm sticking with the defense as being the
okay. I can accept that as the number one reason. Anthony Weaver's unit is finally showing up. I got to put some respect on Anthony Weaver's unit. They are playing how we expected them to play at the beginning of the season. Yeah. And I know that they said that they knew that the rookies were going to be a slow progression, but the rookies are turning the corner. All those defensive linemen, including Zeke Biggest, they out there playing. They out there owning the line of scrimmage.
I think another factor is guys are really buying into the scheme more, right? Like the familiarity with it a little bit. Because I think there's been times where, and this is something that I've heard from multiple guys, right? Like there's be times where, if you're a Minkah Fitzpatrick, you're coming into a situation, you're a Bradley Chubb. Now, granted, you played a lot of high level football, right? There's things that you recognize on the field, right, that you might be able to do, right, that might not necessarily fit within the scheme, doing more than your 111, right?
Yeah.
And that sometimes creates issues. I think now guys are more trustworthy, like, okay, I'm going to do my job because I know X, Y, Z now. Dante Trader told me about it, like with him and Minkah sometimes. Like sometimes Minkah does, at this point in the season, Minkah doesn't even have to say words. Like he can just read his body language and know that he's going there. Because he's going there, I have to be here, right? And so just that trust and increased familiarity.
Manny Crowder used to talk about it with Junior Seau, the late great Junior Seau. Mm-hmm. When Junior said, "Hey," Junior turned to Channing and said, "Buddy." Mm-hmm. Channing knew he ain't doing what he's supposed to do. I got to cover for him. Like that's all he had to say. Like he's like, "Buddy," and he was like, "Oh, Junior about to go make a play. Yeah. I got to clean up for him." Yeah. You're right. Yes, you're right. props to the defense for getting it together.
Of course.
I definitely want to recognize two guys who have tremendously stepped up, not just their play and contributions, but their leadership. Bradley Chubb, Jordan Brooks.
Yeah.
I did the story on the Leadership Council, which is if you don't know what the Leadership Council is, Mike McDaniel talks about it all the time. And this is a player-driven team. It's always been a player-driven team. Mike, this team works like the government, where there's the legislature and then there's the president. Mike doesn't approve. Mike just signs off on these things that the legislature decides.
Mm-hmm.
The legislature is the Leadership Council. And according to the players, Jordan Brooks, this is his team. He's damn near running the Leadership Council. What Jordan Brooks says goes. And when he wanted Papa Shot out the locker room, Papa Shot was out the locker room.
I love that he's not talked about that too. He's like, no comment. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to talk about it. Like,
even when people found out that it was him, and they was like, hey, we heard this was you. No comment.
Yeah, I won't talk about it. Like I decided we not playing Papa Shot in the locker room no more, or cards, because remember the card table's gone.
Cards were there too.
Yeah, Jordan Brooks is like, go on, be about football. Maybe if it was like a football, you had to throw through the little.
Yeah, maybe that could help with the interceptions. Maybe they need to get that in there. You know?
But Bradley Chubb, just seeing him lead, he's been around for a little while. I've never seen him be this level of leader. I know he got a sack yesterday, but Bradley, you missing about 4 sacks a game, brother. That's gonna hit your paper. That's gonna impact your paper next year. You got to finish, brother. And Jordan Brooks, goodness gracious. I mean, I think he's on pace for like 194 tackles. Yeah. He is becoming a tackling machine, and props to Terrell Dotson, because Terrell Dotson took on that green dot responsibility, took on that leadership role, because Jordan Brooks is not comfortable with it, even though he's the alpha male in the team right now. But it makes him play faster. So props to Terrell Dotson, who I think is also on pace for like 100 tackles this year.
Yeah, he missed obviously the game. His numbers would have been higher, but he definitely missed the game. So
yeah,
he was ready. Look, if you're giving out flowers, I'm gonna give some to Chop Robinson. I thought you might say,
yeah. Oh, you thought I was gonna give Chop?
I thought you were gonna give him some credit, man. Led the team 1.5 sacks, 3 quarterback hits.
Chop talking about we must have forgot who he was.
Like he looked good out there. He looked good. Even I saw him set the edge once. You know.
Okay.
So I think. Look. I think. As we've said, like the increased workload, and I'm gonna make a point to talk with him a little bit this week. But the increased workload should yield to better results. Hopefully. That's the hold on. I'm looking at the game book right now. I wanted to look at the distribution of snaps specifically. Chop 62%. And Matt Judon 51%. Okay, that's an interesting number. 81% for Bradley Chubb. He barely came off the field. Good God.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah. So there's increased. Damn, don't only got 5. Okay, so there's increased workload. I'm a fan of it.
You're a fan of it. Let's hopefully, if they can consistently stop the run, because they are still allowing 4.8 yards per carry.
Yeah. I mean that's as McDaniel said yesterday, that was an emphasis for them to stop the run specifically against this team. Obviously, they only have 2 wins on the year, but as McDaniel said, both of those wins
in the NFL.
Came, you said what?
This was one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL. I'm not taking a victory lap for that. Nah. Now stop the run next week against Breece Hall.
Yeah, Breece Hall, Tyrod. Yeah. That's real.
Stop the run next week. I mean, here's the thing, and I say this all the time about this team. This team has a habit of playing to the level of their competition. So if their competition sucks, they will suck too. If their competition's good, they'll be good too. Doesn't necessarily mean they will win the game. So I don't really know what to expect, but clearly they need to keep the wins coming. in order to keep their 0.2 odds of making it into the playoffs alive. It would be nice, huh?
5-7, they in the hunt, baby. They in the
Yeah.
hunt.
Okay. Yeah. When they get to 7-7, I'll acknowledge that they're in the hunt, and to do that, they gotta beat the Jets and then the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I was about to say, is that an early prediction there? A victory on the road in the cold?
Listen, all I will say is the natives are getting restless in Pittsburgh, and I've known for years Pittsburgh fans are done with Mike Tomlin. They are tolerating him at this point. Mm-hmm. And they went all in this season, and this season is basically circling the drain on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It looks like Mike Tomlin is going to be there to be grabbed. I'm not sure he's going to be fired, but I believe that teams that want him might be able to trade for him and acquire a head coach, just like the Miami Dolphins acquired Don Shula back in the day from the Indianapolis Colts. My question to you, Isaiah, and I know nobody knows what's going to happen with Mike McDaniel. Nobody knows what's going to happen with Champ Kelly. They're probably all going to keep their job if they win 5 of the 6. If they win 5 of this 6 runs, and I'm fine with that. If you get to a winning record, no playoffs, I'm fine with that. You can keep your job. We can run this back for one more year. But if Mike Tomlin becomes available,
yes,
not fired, but becomes available, because I don't think the Dolphins will get him if he's fired and gets to select where he goes.
Why is that?
Steve Ross usually strikes out when it comes to luring the big fish. It just is the way Steve Ross is. And I'll write this again eventually. If you analyze his hiring cycles, they have been some traumatic experiences for him. And which is part of the reason why he hates doing it. It's not I could just offer you the most money and I can get who I want. That's not the situation. But if Mike Tomlin is there for a first or second round draft pick, do you make the call, Isaiah?
Ooh, first or second rounder. Which one? Is it a first rounder or a second rounder? I think that makes a huge difference.
Let's call it the equivalent of a first rounder.
Oh boy.
Because I think I
gotta give up my first round pick for him. Do I get like picks back? Like, are they gonna would they give me, if I trade them a first? Will
they give you a third?
Yeah, will they give me a third or a second or something?
No, not a second, probably a third.
Okay.
Mike Tomlin is probably going to go for a high second round pick.
I'm also, and we can talk about this off air, I'm very unfamiliar with the trading. I know that it's happened before, but you trading coaches for picks, that just boggles my mind. But I think you do it because I think what this team needs is a culture setter, someone that is going to say, like, look, this is what it is from the top down. And he can kind of get in alignment with whoever the GM is, if it's Champ Kelly, whoever it is, who I met for the first time, cool guy. Definitely had a brief talk with him yesterday. So yeah, I think you do it. I want a guy that, to me, he checks a lot of the boxes. I want someone that actually has prior head coaching experience, someone that has won at the highest level. Now it's been a minute, but you've done it, and someone that can, get guys in line, right? Where, in a sense, where, like, don't get me wrong, I believe the player led teams, that's a good model. But at the same time, I think there's checks and balances, right? I need someone that can get a Jalen Ramsey in check, right? Someone that can get a DK Metcalf in check, and DK isn't really much of a problem, but like just somebody that can get guys in check, that is willing to tackle the ego that is Aaron Rodgers, right? Like I want a guy that isn't not necessarily afraid of his players, but someone that his players are a little bit afraid of him, right? Like it's just I just enjoy that personality. I enjoy, and then plus I think it's an interesting moment in the sense that, like, obviously he was thought of too hip hop before, and now he's coming back. I like that full circle moment, and I almost though, and I'm curious, do you if someone had that perception of you, on the front end.
See, but nobody. That's the thing. Nobody here.
That wasn't this regime.
Nobody. That's like 2 regimes ago.
Okay,
that's like two. That's like an owner ago.
Okay, that's fair.
I know the individual. I was here covering the team, and I know the individuals who said that and who had those discussions. And really, it was just because think about at that time there weren't that many African American head coaches.
I mean, like we say that time like it was like a half a century ago.
It was 2007, which is
almost 20 years ago.
Almost 20 years ago.
I was 11. The same racism that exists then exists now. Like it's people just is like they just took a step
it's a little bit different. It was a little bit more subtle then. It's not so subtle.
Oh no, it's not subtle at all. It's not subtle at all. I prefer this version though. Tell me who you are from the front end so I can understand where we're coming from.
That's true. That's fair.
Don't call me too hip hop behind my back. Say that to my face. Say that to my face.
You are a little too hip hop.
It is what it is. Like, look.
Yeah. On that note, we will be back on Wednesday as we get you ready for the Jets week. We do have a couple of injuries to monitor. Alec Ingold's got a stinger. Hopefully, it's just a stinger. He's battled some neck, shoulder issues throughout his career. He's a fullback. He's a battering ram. So hopefully he's still available. But even if he's not, they got Daniel Brunskill in there. We're good. All right. We will see you on Wednesday, folks.